Welcome to Film Riot. I'm sure you all have heard about Baby Driver. I did see it. I really liked it a lot. To be completely honest, I thought it was a bit overhyped for what it was, but I did really dig it, especially the fact that everything was sort of paced and timed with the music and on beat. And right now online you can watch the first 6 minutes of the film, which is some of my favorite bits from the entire movie. This might be my favorite scene in the whole film. I just really love how Edgar Wright built up to the scene and then how he played out the action with the coverage, the pacing, how everything goes with the music like it does throughout the entire film. And if you pay attention, everything is on beat. The cop sirens, things swishing by the camera, the car swerving or knocking out certain things, crashes, everything goes to the beat of the actual song itself. And there's a ton of stuff like that through the entire film, which I thought was really, really interesting. But there's also very subtle things that if you pay attention, like little push-pulls that happen to help emphasize a certain moment or just the style that he's pushing toward. So the movie as a whole, from that aspect alone, is pretty brilliant. But moving on, lately I have been consuming a whole lot of Netflix, so I figured today I would talk about some of my favorite Netflix shows, not in any particular order, and not all of them are Netflix originals, but just things that are currently on Netflix that I have been binging and absolutely loving, and I think again are entirely worth your time, starting with House of Cards. And everything about this show is so well done, including the acting, which I've talked about before, the writing, the pacing. I just really, really dig the overall style of this one. Then of course we have Stranger Things. If you have not seen that, drop everything that you're watching right now and go watch that. It is one of my favorite things to come out in a very long time, and I cannot wait for season 2. There's actually a season 2 trailer out right now, which we'll put a link for below. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Usually I don't like to watch trailers, especially for shows, but this one was awesome and worth it. Then Black Mirror, such a good show, and I just for the first time got through all of the seasons and I really love them. One of my favorite episodes came from Dan Trachtenberg, which is a friend of Film Riot. I just love what he did with that episode, which is in the latest season, so definitely check that one out too. Then we have Glow, which is one that I just finished recently, and I really dug how unique it was. There was definitely a different and interesting quality to everything, including the characters, how they arced certain things, and even the look and how it all played out. Then we have The Crown, which my wife started watching at first and I didn't give much attention to, but then slowly was sucked into the storytelling. I just really dug how they unfolded the story over time. And again, like House of Cards, really fantastic acting. John Lithgow is amazing in that one. Narcos, which I haven't gotten all the way through season 2 just yet, but season 1 was excellent. Then similar to Narcos as far as tone, we have Bloodline, which is a very, very dark show, but really, really good. Just know that if you're not into very dark stuff, this one might not be for you, but I really love it, and it's probably in my top 5. One that I've been watching recently is Castlevania. It's only 4 episodes of 30 minutes apiece, so really it's like a movie, and season 2 is apparently already in the works, and I'm really happy about that because I really love how this one worked out. It's animation and the storytelling and the vibe is right up my alley. I just loved it, so if you haven't checked it out, definitely do. Then there's Peaky Blinders, which is like an organized crime type show, period piece, and just entirely awesome, just like House of Cards and The Crown. Really fantastic acting. Tom Hardy is even in it, and you can't understand what he's saying in this one, just like in most movies, but he's still great. So there you go. And then 3 more that aren't Netflix originals but are currently on Netflix. So if you haven't watched them, you can watch them now on Netflix for free if you do have subscription. So it's technically not free, but it does feel like free. And that's Documentary Now, which is from Alex Buono and his team. And it's hilarious. Then there's The Twilight Zone, which is the classic series, which is one of my favorites of all time. I think I've watched through the whole thing at least twice. I just love all the ideas that go into it. And that sort of anthology series, I'm just a big sucker for. And then finally, one of the greatest shows of all time, Breaking Bad. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing with your life? Go watch it right now. And Better Call Saul is on there too. So watch Breaking Bad, finish the entire thing, probably watch it again because you'll be blown away at how amazing it is, and then start Better Call Saul. And there you go. Those are my favorite things that are currently on Netflix. If you haven't watched any of them, I highly recommend all of them. Again, none of them are in order of my favorite to my least favorite or anything like that. And if you have some favorites that I didn't touch on, I would love to know what they are so I could add them to my Netflix list. So post those in the comments below. If you're If you're a budding filmmaker, entrepreneur, innovator, domain.com is the place to go when that next idea hits you. When you buy a domain name from domain.com, you're taking the first steps in creating a vision and identity for your brand or idea. And the two top premier, most recognizable domain name extensions are .com and .net, which means those are the ones that are going to get you the recognition the fastest. And right now you can get 35% off for a limited time from now to August 31st by using the coupon code FilmJumbo at checkout. Just use that coupon code when you get your emails, web hosting, and all that. And when you think domain names, think domain.com. Logos. So that's it for today, which means it's time to talk about what I'm watching. Right now, I'm watching something that Steve Yedlin just put out about resolution, which is funny because we were just talking about resolution last week, but it's something that dives into resolution in different cameras and how there's sort of a myth behind how the camera dictates mostly what your image looks like, which I also don't agree with, but he's a brilliant man that knows exactly what he's talking about, and he illustrates all that in 2 videos, so definitely check it out. It is unbelievably educational and absolutely a must for you to watch. So go do that now. And until next time, don't forget to write, shoot, edit, repeat.